Hey folks, today we're going to do a short video on continuous loops out of 7/64 Amsteel. This one's going to be an 8-inch continuous loop, and what we have here are some of the items that you're going to need to make this. You don't necessarily need every one, but it's a good thing to have some of these. As far as one, you're going to need a good fish type tool. This one I picked up from Dutch. This actually allows you to lock that closed when you're pulling through, and it will not hook into the rest of the actual cordage. It's got a nice finger loop on there as well. I tend to use a nail or something to dig out the individual fibers from the Amsteel. That allows you to taper the end, which you'll need to do when you're pulling through within these strands here. What I mean by that is when you actually separate that, open that separation up, and then you pull through the rest of the cordage. You got a knife. You can also, instead of the nail, you can use a smaller Phillips head screwdriver. I got a cutting board. That's where I do my cutting on the actual fibers, and a Sharpie. So what we did, I've got a tape measure here. Don't forget your tape measure too. Your yardstick, whatever. 28 inches is measured out here. I've got a piece cut already at 28 inches. And what I did was, went ahead and marked. You can eyeball this, but this is generally about an inch from the end. If you see an inch from the end here, this is marked as well on that side. That will give you enough space to kind of make the ends a little smaller is what you're doing. So you're tapering the ends. So you're pulling 3 strands out. You want to separate those strands probably equally spaced. Cut those strands off, and then that gives you a taper so it's easier to pull through. The next mark is a total length of 5 inches or 4 inches from the first mark if you made that first mark on each side. So a total length of 5. And that's where we're going to separate and pull through the Amsteel to make the continuous loop. And then you're going to have, generally it's roughly about an inch. That takes up the loop end of the Amsteel when you do the continuous loop, and then you would have a 16-inch length in between. So let's get started with this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go at about an inch here, and I'm going to just try to take this nail and pull this stuff through. And it can be tricky sometimes, but not too bad. So as you can see, I got some marker on my hand. So you just pull each individual strand through. So this will be cut off in a little bit. I got another strand here. Just kind of rotate the actual cordage around. Pull that one through. And then we'll do this one right here. Okay, so that's that end. We'll do both ends real quick. I'll just do a little bit shorter on this end. There's one. There's 2. And we'll get this one here. That's pretty easy to get out. That's 3. So that kind of unraveled in a way. Take your knife and then just cut some of the ends off here, which I'm gonna probably cut 2 right here. Just okay. I get this side over here. Flip the end. They tend to want to unravel. That's all right, because you're gonna bury it anyways. And that's what the 5-inch measurement was. That's where the beginning of the bury starts. So we'll just do 2 off of that. That should be plenty. So what we'll do then is we'll take and separate one of the ends here at the 5-inch mark, and then I'm going to take my fish tool through there. You want to get that evenly spaced, so you want both sides evenly spaced, even amount of threads on one side, even amount of threads on the other. I will take and wrap that around the wire, slide it through, and then just give that a little bit of a twist, and it pulls through pretty easy there. Now I want to take that cord and I want to take that mark, that additional 5-inch mark, and pull it all the way through. And then what I need to do is separate that, pull your fish tool through there, let it latch down on the rest of the material, and pull through on the other side. So what you have, in a sense, is a locked Bremel, in a sense. As you can see, you just pull that tight, and then that will allow you to hold that knot. What we're going to do is we're going to bury these within that cordage. So you want to take, at that point, let's do this here. We'll pull this around. I'm going to pull it a little bit tighter. Take that down, and you want to measure out a little bit past where the actual taper end is. So I'm going to open that up. Take your fish tool. You can open this up with that nail if you want as well, and push the fish tool, and you have to be careful because it does tend to pop out. Push that on through till you come out towards the end here. As close to the knot as you can get, and then just pull that back through. So I'll give it a little twist and pull that through. Straighten your end out, and then milk that berry down. As you can see, then that disappears. Do the same thing for the other side. You kind of get an eyeball of where you want that to start. Spread the material out. Take the fish tool and then just start working it through. Till you get towards the end here. Pop that through, and then I take and grab all the material there. Actually, let me try that one more time. Push the material through and just start pulling, twisting and pulling. And I got the whole thing through. Milk that berry down, and you got yourself an 8-inch continuous loop. So let's look. As you can see, it's just a little shy, but it's about, yeah, it's right there. 8-inch continuous loop. So these can be used on the end of a hammock. You can lark set that onto the end of the whipping and punch it through if you get a hole in there. Make 2 of these. You can buy them. Actually, Dutch sells them. I think they're like $2.50 a piece. But once you get rolling on these, some people will put a piece of like shrink tubing on before they actually do all the work of burying all the ends. They'll slide the shrink tubing over and then heat shrink that down, so you get rid of that little bit of it looks kind of nasty in a way. Now, that is a continuous loop out of 7/64 Amsteel, and the color of your choice, obviously. And that's just basically it. You can get these at Dutch for $6. Dutchware has these for $6. I'm pretty sure you can get those at Walmart as well. The rest of the stuff is just what you have at home. Hopefully you have a tape measure. And you're making your own continuous loops. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. This is something that I'll do just to improve on some of the things. Just to give you an example of Dutch's argon, poly D or nylon D hammocks. They have a zip tie through them. I'll go ahead and fish this through a piece of 1/2-inch tubing through the end of that hammock, the channel, and then lark set that through, and I get a stronger continuous loop, more secure. and then I can hook on my whoopee slings or whatever other type of connections you want to make. It's kind of almost endless there with the types of connections. So like I said, if you like this video, just go ahead and like that, and also just leave me some comments if you want to see any other videos or things like that, and hopefully this helps you guys out. You guys have a good day. Thanks.